can't talk like that to me.
I can talk like that to you.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Spoiler Alert. My name is Dan.
Mike Chen here.
Okay, so this week we went to see
Godzilla.
Or Godzilla.
You are not fooling anybody when you say that what happened was a natural disaster.
Okay, guys, this was a highly anticipated movie, especially by the Godzilla fan-loving community, which it's not just Asian, but I think around the world, Godzilla is one of the, if not the most recognizable character in movie, pop culture, and also history that is actually not human. Have you seen the 1998 Roland Emmerich version?
Yeah.
And
I didn't like that much either.
Yeah, because that was literally like, I think I was reading online, that movie was blocked out by, that movie has been blocked out in the memories of probably every single Godzilla fan. Like consensus-wise, that was the worst movie
that
ever made.
one and this one is like completely different.
Okay.
Completely. That one was just basically Godzilla attacking Manhattan.
Mm-hmm. So what I was reading was, fans were actually they're pretty happy with this movie.
Yeah.
Because there was so much build-up for that 1998 one.
And yeah, overall the consensus online, that's why we had higher expectations because everyone liked it, from the critics to fans in general.
Fans, right. So this is why it was really interesting, because for me and you, like, I'm not a huge Godzilla fan.
No.
I just found out last week, before I went to see the movie, I did some research, that Godzilla's not evil.
Yeah, I thought he was evil from the 98 version.
Yeah.
I thought he was evil.
I haven't.
I thought he was a bad dinosaur.
Yeah, me too. I thought he like, and I went into this movie being basically a Godzilla noob and doing some minor research, and I walked out similar to you, but I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, can I tell you why I really didn't like this movie and I actually fell asleep? Actually, in my defense, I fell asleep before the movie started.
In your defense, you were asleep before the movie even started.
Right, and then I woke up for the movie, and then I fell asleep again.
During the movie.
Okay, here's my number one reason for not liking it. That movie was not about Godzilla.
No.
Okay? That movie should not be called Godzilla.
No.
It should be called Man Who Loses His Wife. Later, sons figure out mystery of why.
And then a Japanese guy has his family bombed in World War II, but keeps track of these giant monsters, eventually meets the guy that loses his wife.
It's just so much plot. It's like itchy stitching all the plot lines together. It didn't even fit.
Okay, so that now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna skip ahead to me, that was one of the more ugly. If you're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, that was ridiculous. Like, why? I understand why you need characters to drive the plot,
Right.
okay? But people forgot. Godzilla should drive the plot. Godzilla is why you're going to go see the movie.
The first monster they introduced is this butterfly.
Yeah, it's the enemy guy.
Yeah, but they stayed on that monster for like the entire half of the movie.
I understand why they did that, because they want you to understand. It was almost like they gave too much attention to the enemy of the movie. Because you realize in the beginning, that whole meltdown in 1999, the Philippines, the reactor melted, right? That's because of the bad guy, not Godzilla.
Right, okay, I get that. Now here's something I don't get. Okay, speaking of the plot line, all right, you have this scientist who loses his wife.
Right,
during the
Bryan
meltdown.
Cranston, by the way, who did an amazing job, I thought.
Sure, and then he has a son, and then he shows up again at this Japanese plant where his wife died.
Right.
To try to solve the mystery.
Right.
And then he dies.
And then he dies.
I thought it was about him, and then he dies. So he's dead.
Well, this is
where... Right? And here's where else I don't understand. So he had all this data stored on little floppy.
They're like floppy disks.
That no one seemed to use later.
Yeah, and then also the other ridiculous thing was they're trying to plant a nuke. This is so stupid. Okay. They're like, let's blow up these monsters with a megaton nuke. They're wishy-washy. They're back and forth. They're like, let's nuke them. Then it's like, oh no,
crap.
Oh no. If we nuked them, it would be basically feeding them like a giant all-you-can-eat pizza nuke buffet. And then I had a problem with, so they have to Halo insert these, guys that have to go retrieve the nuke and deactivate it. And if they don't deactivate it, they have to ship it out into the sea.
Right.
And then what happened was they didn't deactivate it, and then they had to ship it out to sea. And it's just like, what was the point of all that? And then the nuke blew up in the sea. First of all, if a mega trillion ton nuke blew up in the sea, people would die.
Right.
So that made no sense whatsoever.
Okay, here's my question. There's one main Japanese scientist, Ken Watanabe.
Right.
And let me ask everyone this. What exactly is he an expert of? Because in the movie, like, did he give any information that... Okay, the only information I recall him giving is, let them fight each other.
Yeah.
Which I could have given that. I'm like, yo, I could have been like, hey guys, there's two monsters, they seem to... I mean, there's three monsters, Godzilla and these two, they seem to hate each other.
Right.
In my expert opinion, let them fight each other.
Yeah. Because I've done research on it now,
okay.
I understand, you know, he's very crucial to the movie.
Okay.
Because as I understand, the original Godzilla was a metaphor for basically the war and destruction, meaning humans at that time after the Cold War, you know, the drop of the nukes, basically Godzilla was a creature born from nuclear activity.
Sure.
Okay, and then you had these bad creatures, either from outer space or also born from nuclear activity that he steps up to save the world from. He actually is a savior.
Sure.
So the Japanese scientist, Ken Watanabe, plays the crucial role to tell the US naval captain, saying that, I think nature has a balance, an equalizer, and it's Godzilla. Great. Okay, great.
What
so
else did he do?
Yeah.
He was looking at all these data. Okay, in the movie before, he was looking at these data, one from 15 years ago.
Which he can't figure out, by the way.
Yeah, and then he's like, these two match.
Ugh.
You know what I wish this movie would have had? Jaegers.
Yeah! Dude, first of all, I'm waiting. I could not stop thinking about how awesome Pacific Rim was and how not that awesome Godzilla was.
Right.
Because me and you love Pacific Rim.
If we had Jaegers, we could have took them. Can you imagine, like, at the end, like, when Godzilla dies, like, supposedly dies, and there's still one of those monsters alive? Can you just picture this? All of a sudden, a Jaeger pops out.
Yeah!
It's like, bam, bam, bam.
Just like... The movie has full of plot holes.
Yeah.
And also, why are monsters fighting in the dark all the time? Explain to me that. Like, when they were doing the bulk of the action, and one of the main reasons I went to see the movie is for the CGI of them fighting, and when they finally were duking it out, it was like San Francisco was shrouded in clouds. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything through the whole movie. It seems like I was wearing shades.
I see this all the time in movies, right? I don't know if it's because the director is trying to convey a certain like mood, like it's dark, the apocalypse is coming, or they didn't have enough CGI budget.
You know what this movie is also an endorsement of?
What's that?
Okay, this movie is an endorsement for states like Missouri and Iowa. You know why?
Why is that?
No destruction will ever come to like St. Louis, Missouri. You know, Iowa, Des Moines, Godzilla or these monsters will never invade Des Moines, Iowa. Like, it just won't happen because like they have to just walk across the Rockies. That's slippery. You know, like just let's all go live in the Midwest, okay? Dude,
I mean, can you imagine the same fight taking place, like, say, in the middle of the desert? No one would care, because there's no buildings.
It's like cornfield.
Yeah.
Oh, the crop is
no, the electrical poles got destroyed. Honestly, the major problem I had was I'm going to see a movie about Godzilla, the origins of Godzilla, and the epic battle scenes. I'm sorry, there was just way too much acting in it. I mean, it's always good to have good actors. Bryan Cranston, he was great. The kick-ass guy, the main guy, it literally could have been played by anyone else.
I didn't really feel an emotional attachment to him.
Exactly. I mean, his wife, Elizabeth Olsen, could have been played by anybody else.
It didn't feel emotional connection to her because,
Right.
like, okay, at the end, like, you didn't know if she lived or died.
Right.
And I honestly didn't care. Like,
Who cares?
And also, like, it didn't seem any of the monsters were getting wounded. Like, they were getting like beat, and like they were all like, just we're all good.
Yeah.
We're all good.
And it's like, and also, Godzilla fights for like an hour, and then all of a sudden he starts breathing this blue flame, and I'm like, where was that in the beginning?
And also, the blue flame didn't even hurt that butterfly guy. It was just like, he burned him like 4 times. It was just like, and it still chilled. It's like, that didn't do anything to me. It pushed me back.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything to me until like, blew into his mouth, CPR style.
It's like, it was like blue mint breath.
Yeah,
it was like, hey, I'm gonna kill you with freshening your breath. I give the movie 2 out of 1.5 to 2 Pokeballs out of 5 Pokeballs.
I give it 2 dumplings.
2 dumplings.
2 dumplings. Not gonna see it again.
Yeah. One of my questions to you was, one, do you believe in Loch Ness, and do you believe in there's a Godzilla?
Can I just say I 100% believe in Loch Ness?
Okay.
I do. Okay?
Me too.
I know. 100%.
Me too.
I don't believe there's a Godzilla, but I believe there's Loch Ness.
Or like Godzilla, or to me, like Godzilla's kind of like a Loch Ness monster.
Well, look, I believe because, okay, I know for a fact that
Mythical-wise.
Well, I know for a fact that over 90% of waters on the planet have not been explored.
Right.
Like, it's just, there's so much out there that we don't know, and something like that could be alive. I don't know if it breathes fire or anything like that.
I believe there are these creatures that we don't know of, like that's really huge and could be like the ants, that could be like the prehistoric version of animals we have now.
Sure.
I just don't believe that they're gonna rise out of the sea one day to fight another monster and
if they
save.
do,
yeah.
the U.S. government, please build some Jaegers.
Yeah.
Right now.
Dude, don't just try to nuke them. Oh, another stupid thing was, why is the Navy still carrying guns around trying to shoot this thing? Like, are you serious?
Because it's like they're used to it, and also like
Yeah.
I didn't really see the full power of the military fight these monsters. It was every time it was like 2 helicopters fighting them. I'm like, where's
It's
everybody
ridiculous.
else?
Okay, first of all, they didn't even need a Godzilla. Like, okay, you don't think the militaries of you don't even think the U.S. government could call on every single aircraft they have? They put in billions and trillions of dollars in the military budget each year. You don't think they have the super ray gun that they could just shoot at it?
And maybe with the butterfly monster, just use some bug spray.
They should have just had like a giant bug spray come out of the sea.
No, they should just build
Dude,
this
seriously.
like giant insect zapper.
Come on.
And then it's just like, oh, zap.
Yeah. All right, anyways, guys, if you guys have seen Godzilla, let us know what you think of the movie.
And make sure to check back here every week for new videos about movies, TV, whatever else that we want to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe to this new awesome channel. That would totally make our day, so click the button. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again next time. Peace.